Jonathan Felix sat back in the chair after affixing the final electrode to his skull. He currently reclined in one of the most expensive private scientific investments in the world. And today was the conclusion of his and many others' efforts. The aim of the project was to open a human being's mind and allow them to perceive one of the spatial dimensions above the mediocre three. The actual result still a point of debate, but it was suspected that the individual would be able to study all possible universes that could be created from his actions, and then choose the one that he wished to follow. A man whose every action would be perfect, as he's already witnessed the results. Felix had jumped at the opportunity because he was young and headstrong, in his early 20s and brilliant in the field of quantum mechanics. He was relishing the opportunity to apply his craft to a physical medium. He gave the final thumbs up to the text behind the safety glass, and they activated the first stages of the machine. A microphone in the room relayed his words as the process started. "If I have seen further than others, it is because I have stood on the shoulders of giants." Imitation was the highest form of flattery, he thought, with a grin. The chair reclined back until it became a flat table, and a large rotating dome lowered down to encompass his entire body. Within the dome there was a complex crystalline structure lining the inside. He focused on the facets of the crystals and noticed that they had started to morph, shifting in ways his mind just could not understand. He started to feel lightheaded and dizzy. His sight was suddenly filled with explosions of light, and his body started to spasm. Reading his health signs in the control room, the engineers instantly halted the operation. A medic ran in, checked the vitals of Felix, and was pleased to find a weak, yet consistent heartbeat. Felix opened his eyes a couple minutes later. He looked up at the doctor and suddenly jerked up as he realized where he was. "What happened? I don't feel any different." The doctor smiled and patted him on the shoulder. "Any landing you can walk away from, right?" The doctor turned to walk away, caught his ankle on a trailing cable, tripped forwards and cracked his forehead against the corner of the table. His head twisted to a sickening angle. "Reset." The doctor turned to walk away, caught his ankle on a trailing cable, tripped forwards, and then was grabbed from behind as Felix threw himself from the chair, stopping him inches from the table corner. Felix collapsed and threw up, his hand shaking. He realized that he had just perceived two universes and had actively chosen the one he wanted. He smiled at the doctor. "I did it. I can see them. I can see them all." Felix's smile faded. He now saw two new universes, both the same as far as he was aware. Suddenly a third, a fourth, a fifth blossomed in his mind. He could see all the possibilities that he was capable of. Some he didn't wish to see. His mind began to fracture. Felix grabbed the medic and in an act of unnatural rage plunged his thumbs into the poor attendant's eyes. "Reset." Felix looked despairingly into the eyes of the medic and started to scream, refusing to stop even when bubbles of blood foamed around the corners of his mouth. "Reset." Felix grabbed the table leg and forcefully headbutted the corner, only achieving his goal of shattering his skull on the fourth strike. "Reset." Felix sat on the floor, experiencing all the potential evil that he was physically capable of. His body shook as he was racked, sobs of horror. He grabbed the collar of the medic and drew them face to face. "Too far! Too far!" he screamed. His eyes blurred for a moment, then started to turn yellow and shriveled. At the same moment, his hair changed to the purest white. Felix, in his final moments, became aware of the magnitude of the universe bearing down on him, and he would have to live through every single one. His grip slipped and his mind was lost to the abyss. "Reset." You're in your room late at night. You've been on the computer for a while now, and it's almost time to get some sleep. The light behind you is still blazing, cutting a swath through the oppressive darkness of whatever ridiculous hour of the morning it is. In a sleep-deprived haze, you amble over to the light switch and flick it off, and instantly realize you screwed up. Your headphones are laying on the floor, and without the light to see them, you'll probably step on them and crush them. Resolving to turn the light back on so you can grab them, you spend less than a second in near-perfect darkness as this goes through your mind. Then you flick the light back on. You're not in your room anymore. It's as if 50 years of disrepair have ravaged your once-loved living space. You're also surrounded. You can't really see them. Mostly just their shadows are visible as they crouch on all fours all around you. The only features you can make out are hundreds of mouths of jagged, grinning teeth, and a set of glowing red eyes to go with each twisted smile. You almost have time to scream. Almost. Try this. Turn off the music. Turn off the TV. If you have to, turn off the computer. Then go to another room and sit in total silence. Do you hear that? That ringing? People say it's your brain making up a sound to explain the silence. People lied. I can't tell you it's making that sound, but whatever it is, you don't want to need it. It is trying to break through, force its way onto our plane of existence. Now try this. Repeat the first steps. Turn everything off. This time, turn the lights off too. Still hear that ringing? Better hope you do. If you don't, it's because they finally managed to break through, and no amount of running will save you. Every time you exhale, a little bit of your soul escapes. Luckily, you almost always inhale it back before anyone else gets to it. Almost. Ever fogged up a mirror with your breath? Don't do that. If you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you'd like to, you can follow me at Twitter. The handle is @FuzzyPantaloons, and I'll see you all next time.